Are you considering moving to Kelowna, BC, but don't want to end up in the wrong neighborhood? Well, then this video is for you, as I'm going to be covering the worst neighborhoods to live in Kelowna. What's going on, everybody? I'm Russell Mortlock here with eXp Realty. I'm a licensed real estate agent, so I can help you out if you're looking to purchase a home here in Kelowna. You can give me a call at 778-392-7238, or you can go into the description below and book a call with me directly using that link. So let's dive into the worst neighborhoods here in Kelowna. And I'm going to start off with saying a little disclaimer. This is based off of opinions and a little bit of statistical information. And one of these neighborhoods I personally live in right now, I'll be able to share my firsthand experience in living in this neighborhood here in Kelowna. The first neighborhood we got is straight out of Rutland. So for this video, I'm going to be combining Rutland North and Rutland South together. Rutland is located on the northeast side of the city's core. This area has been stigmatized for decades and still is currently, mainly because of its affordability. It is the most affordable neighborhood in all of Kelowna. With that affordability does usually mean some low-income housing, so the crime rates in Rutland were usually typically high because of the housing demand there with the affordability. That also meant, to go along with the housing prices there being so affordable, that also meant that rent prices were affordable in Rutland as well. We used to have the belt for highest crime rate in all of Kelowna, but a different neighborhood that I'm going to be talking about in this video actually currently holds that title and took it away from Rutland. So let's get into the facts on Rutland. Rutland is the biggest neighborhood in all of Kelowna. Rutland has a population around 34,000. It has a median age around 39 years old. The neighborhood is mostly residentials, where you'll find a really good blend of single-family homes, townhouses, and condos that you potentially can choose from if you're looking to purchase real estate here. Recently, Kelowna City Council has been putting a lot of effort into revitalizing the Rutland area, where they've been rezoning properties for higher density, so we're finally getting some new development going on in this area. It also does have a lot of commercial properties, so it does have a pretty good makeup of some business centers located in the area. So let's touch on the major points on why this is one of the worst neighborhoods to live in. So the first is the homes typically are old and run down, where you do see kind of like a blend of a lot of do-it-yourself construction and renovations when you go through some of these homes. With me being a licensed realtor, I've been through hundreds of homes in the Rutland area, and typically the construction isn't quite on par, where you do see a lot of homes that have had the handyman special from Canadian Tire that probably didn't pull permits and definitely didn't do the best job when renovating the property. So if this is an area that you're looking into, you want to make sure that you get access to the city file so you can see if any of these renovations has been done with city permits, just to double check that they were inspected by the city and got passed. It does have the second highest crime rate in Kelowna, and this seems to be the main reason why people deem it as the worst neighborhood to live in, is because of this crime rating. Third reason is just it's been stigmatized. For decades on decades, people would say you don't even want to look in Rutland. You don't want to own a home in Rutland. And it just has carried over that people still have this opinion of living in Rutland, that it's not a place that you want to be. But interesting enough, let's talk about some of the positives if you were to choose Rutland. And I found this extremely interesting when I was analyzing last year's market stats, that the real estate prices in Rutland have actually appreciated more than any other neighborhood you would see in Kelowna. Personally, I had a friend who purchased a property in 2019 in Rutland for $570,000. We sold this property last year for $1.1 million. Now let that sink in. He was able to double his investment in 3 years by purchasing a property in Rutland, because it's seen the most amount of appreciation out of any of the neighborhoods in Kelowna. And this is why I love real estate investing so much. This is life-changing wealth that this young man was able to create by purchasing a rental property in Rutland. That also goes into my standard advice that I give anyone who's looking to invest, that 90% of people should at least try owning a rental property. Get one. I guarantee if you hold it for 10, 15, 20 years, it's going to be the best investment that you ever make. The next real positive about Rutland is its actual location. It is right in a sweet spot in Kelowna where you're close to the airport, you're close to downtown, you're close to all the major shopping centers like Costco, Walmart, Superstore. There's restaurants really close by and in the community, making it probably one of the best neighborhoods in terms of location to live, to be exposed to every amenity that Kelowna has to offer. It is beautiful driving through there in the summertime, spring and fall. It's just made up of all this beautiful orchard and some farmland. It is really a nice place to be, in my opinion, especially in the Rutland North area. The next big positive of it is the lot size. Here you're going to be getting a large sized lot compared to anywhere else in Kelowna. They have the biggest lot sizes, and this has been the sole reason why property values have appreciated the most in Rutland, because now with them being able to get rezoned to build higher density where you can take a single family home, now build a fourplex or 2 townhouses or something like that depending on the zoning, this has added to the value and created a higher density where you're finally starting to see a lot of new construction in Rutland that just makes the neighborhood look way better. The next part about Rutland, and this is going to be for the minority population, that there is some temples located directly in Rutland, so this seems to be one of the best places for them to live because it gives them close access to every amenity that they require. So how much does it actually cost to buy a home in Rutland? Right now, currently, the single family home prices are around $760,000. When you compare that to the overall average of Kelowna, this is $210,000 cheaper. Now we move into townhouses who have an average price in Rutland of $585,000. This is $150,000 difference in what the average townhouse is selling for in Kelowna. And last but not least, we have condos that sell at an average price of $385,000. This is going to be $111,000 cheaper than the average condo prices. So just like I was saying before, one of the main reasons why it was stigmatized is because of its affordability, which attracted obviously potentially a bit of a rougher crowd because of how affordable rent prices and real estate prices are. But if you're someone looking to get into the market and how far out of reach the single family home market is, Rutland is potentially a great option for you to get a full-size house that you can start your family in. For me personally, I actually love Rutland, and I'm going to be rocking a straight out Rutland t-shirt anytime soon here. But for the people that this neighborhood's going to work the best for is for those young families, for people looking to get into the market that may not be able to afford their preferred location. Rutland could be a good entry point in order for you to get into the market and then move up into houses and then eventually get into the neighborhood that you like. Especially with it appreciating more than any other neighborhood, you're going to see that investment into that home increase faster than other areas. The next people that this market really is for is investors, where you're able to find great homes because of the zoning. You're easily able to put in a suite into a basement, and with the affordability, it's one of the only neighborhoods that you're going to be able to cash flow on with the current rental price. So for investors and young people looking to get in the market, I think Rutland is the best option for you to start purchasing real estate here in Kelowna. After hearing all the pros and cons of what it's like to live in Rutland and how the neighborhood operates, if you still think that this might be the right place for you to live, give me a call at 778-392-7238, or you can go in the description below and book a call directly there whenever it works best for you. And also, if you're wanting to stay up to date with how the Kelowna real estate market is performing, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be releasing a ton of content that will keep you up to date with how things are actually going here in Kelowna. The next neighborhood is the one that I personally live in and absolutely love being here, but for the dynamics and a few other reasons, this can be an off-putting neighborhood for some people. And just like Rutland, this area has been stigmatized forever, and that keeps drifting into people's opinion, where a lot of these people may not even have ever spent or lived any time here, but they have that opinion that's been stigmatized for a long period of time. The neighborhood that I'm talking about is downtown Kelowna, which currently holds the title for highest crime rate in all of Kelowna. And the fact of the matter is, this is due to the large homeless population that seems to congregate in a few of the downtown hubs there. It really is unfortunate and sad to see, but this is what makes up the majority of the crime and why the crime rate is so high in downtown Kelowna. If you were to analyze these numbers, it is a lot of like petty theft and minor crimes and stuff that you necessarily don't have to be too worried about, but you do want to be conscious of it. I've had my vehicle broken in before, and I know other people have had similar things that have happened to them too as well. You just need to be aware that this is a problem and something that you want to be conscious of if you were to move here in downtown. And once again, for this video, I'm going to be blending Kelowna North and Kelowna South into one and just referring to it as downtown. There's going to be a little discrepancy from the two areas, but most people who are looking to live in the downtown core or in the downtown area, they are looking in both these neighborhoods. So let's talk about what are some of the cons about living in downtown. First and foremost, housing can be tough to find. So to actually find a nice single family home located in this downtown core can be difficult. This is solely due to the high density and the large demand that the Kelowna Council has been putting in the official community plan, where you are seeing a lot of these older homes get rezoned for multifamily. So for someone looking to find a really nice, large, good sized single family home can be tough in downtown, where you see a lot of these are older homes that don't have a lot of square footage in them and are only maybe 2 to 3 bedrooms, so they don't necessarily work for a lot of young families who want the 4-bedroom home. But these homes are typically on large lots because they are older, so there is a little bit of favorability in there, and with the ability to rezone it, investors have some latent potential that can add to their overall return on investment. The next point is going to be crime rate. So downtown Kelowna does hold the world championship right now for highest crime rate in all of Kelowna. It definitely does suck, and not to sugarcoat it at all, you could be walking downtown and literally probably run into someone that's maybe shooting up or just kind of getting sick, and it's super sad to see, and the city is putting a lot of effort into helping these people and shelters, but it's just something you need to be aware of. Last thing I want you guys to do is you purchase a home in this neighborhood and you truly don't know some of the negatives that would be involved, because some people this does scare them off and it does make them uncomfortable when they're wanting to go for a nice walk to see some people getting really, really sick, and it's unfortunate. The next con is parking. I currently might have the most overdue parking tickets with being in downtown. It's tough to find parking. A lot of condos only come with one stall, so I finally was able to rent another stall in my condo building, but for the time I was having to street park, move my vehicle every couple hours, having it exposed to potentially people breaking into. Parking just sucks down here. They don't seem to have enough of it, and it can be a little bit expensive. The parking tickets too definitely add up to it, so something to keep in mind. But part of living here downtown is that you should be walking everywhere and you should be using that downtown lifestyle. Just for people who have 2 vehicles, they always ask, we need 2 parking stalls, and it's really almost impossible to find here in downtown. You have to usually rent one or somehow compensate for it. The next con is going to be the busyness. It can be tough to just have a spur of the moment and want to go to eat. There's always big lineups at a lot of the restaurants, but it's just something to keep in mind that it does get really busy in the summer. Next one is going to be rent prices, because there's such a demand for people wanting to live downtown to experience that lifestyle where you're close to all those neighborhood pubs and breweries and restaurants and the nightlife, and you can walk to go get your groceries, and the beaches are all there. It does make rental prices in downtown really, really high, and this is especially in the high-rise condo market where you see them renting at a premium. So let's touch on some of the positives of living in downtown. I've already alluded to with the location, all the outdoor activities that you're going to be able to do, with the beach being so close. You can walk to the beach whenever you want. You can go for some really nice walks along the water. You can play sports at the city park. Being in downtown is super awesome for that. Next pro is it does have a lot of schools located in the vicinity. So if you are able to find accommodations or housing for what's going to work for your family, your kids will all have really good school systems to go to. The next really big positive is how they close down Bernard Ave and make it walking only. It's super awesome. Every restaurant and place gets to expand their patio all the way out into the street, and all the shops really get bumping. So just like a lot of people who hate the busyness of Kelowna, I think this is a positive because it just makes you feel alive being around all these people, everyone enjoying themselves, having a good time, shopping. It's really a great experience when they do finally close Bernard Ave. And then the next point being is the latent potential that a lot of these homes have if you were to purchase a single family home in downtown, where you're going to be able to redevelop them with the official community plan. And I've seen a lot of people make some really awesome return on investment from purchasing property here in downtown. So what does it look like to purchase a property here? Let's go over the prices in downtown. So if you were to buy a single family home, you're looking at a price around $900,000. This is currently $70,000 cheaper than the average home in Kelowna. With that being said, like I said, one of the biggest cons is it is really tough to find an actual home for a growing family that's going to meet all your guys' needs and requirements. Next is townhouses. They have an average price of $790,000. So with the current prices of what is selling in Kelowna for townhouses, this is actually $50,000 more than what the average townhouse price is. And that's just because of the high density and where most of the townhouses are located in Kelowna is in this downtown core, and all the people who adopt that lifestyle of maybe living with a smaller footprint and in a strata property, they're usually the ones that really like walking everywhere and they want to be downtown. So this causes the location for townhouses to sell at a premium. And that is exactly the same for condos, who have an average price of $550,000 in this neighborhood. That is $60,000 more than what the average condo sells for in Kelowna. And for all the points that I've already stated, this is why the condos and townhouses sell for a premium, is because of that lifestyle, being able to walk everywhere. You're so close to your favorite restaurants and favorite breweries. This makes that urban living lifestyle and all the youth and all the young people really attracted to downtown, which causes these properties to sell at a premium. And after hearing all the pros and cons of what it's like to live in downtown Kelowna, and you think this is going to be the right spot for you to call home, and you want to purchase a property, you can give me a call at 778-392-7238. Or you can book a call with me using the link in the description, whatever's going to be easiest for you. And if you're still on the fence about moving to Kelowna and don't quite know if this is going to be the right place for you, well, you're going to want to watch this video next here, where I go over the top reasons why I personally moved to Kelowna.